In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the timeline track headers and patching controls in DaVinci Resolve 20. If you've ever wondered how to send clips to the right track, lock a layer, mute audio, or organize your timeline more efficiently, this guide will make everything much easier. These controls may look small, but they are some of the most important tools for editing faster and avoiding mistakes. And if this video helps you out, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more DaVinci Resolve tutorials just like this. All right, let's jump in. First, open DaVinci Resolve and make sure you are on the Edit page. You can do this by clicking the third icon from the left at the bottom center of the interface. That takes you directly into the main editing workspace, where your timeline, media pool, and editing tools are all available. Now look at the far left side of your timeline. This area is called the Track Headers section. Here, you will see your video tracks labeled something like V1, V2, V3, and your audio tracks labeled A1, A2, A3. These track headers are basically the control center for each individual layer in your timeline. From here, you can manage where clips go, which tracks are affected by edits, and which layers stay protected. The first thing to understand is source patching. On the far left of the track headers, you will see two small icons for source patching, one for video and one for audio. These are the icons represented by the red or white bounding boxes. They tell DaVinci Resolve which timeline tracks will receive media when you perform an overwrite edit or an insert edit from the media pool. To use them, simply click and drag the source patching icons to the track you want. For example, if you want your video clip to land on V2 instead of V1, drag the video source patch to V2. If you want the audio to go to A1, place the audio patch there. This is extremely useful when you want to control the exact destination of your clips without constantly rearranging things later. Next, let's talk about track destination selection. These are the gray highlight boxes around the track names in the track header area. They determine which tracks are affected by keyboard-based editing commands like copy and paste. In other words, these controls help Resolve understand which tracks should receive certain operations when you are working quickly with shortcuts. If you want a track to be included in those actions, make sure its destination box is active. If you do not want a track affected, turn it off. This is especially helpful in complex timelines where you may have multiple video and audio layers and do not want every layer to be touched by every command. Now let's move to one of the safest and most useful controls, the padlock icon. If you click the padlock on a track header, that track becomes locked. Locking a track prevents accidental changes, cuts, movement of clips, or any unwanted edits on that layer. This is perfect when you have a finished section you do not want to disturb while continuing to work on other parts of the timeline. For example, if your main dialogue track is finished and you do not want to shift it by accident, lock it. If your music bed is already placed and timed correctly, lock that too. This gives you a lot more confidence while editing, especially in larger projects with many layers. Another important control is auto-select, shown with the shifting bracket symbol. These icons let you decide which tracks are included in ripple edits, deletions, and range selections. When auto-select is enabled for a track, that track will respond to those editing actions. When it's disabled, the track stays out of those operations. This is incredibly useful when you want to make a quick edit on one part of the timeline without affecting everything else. If you are trimming or deleting content and only want certain tracks to shift, check your auto-select settings first. It can save you from a lot of unexpected timeline movement. Next up is audio control. On each audio track header, you will usually see a mute button marked with an M and a solo button marked with an S. If you click mute, that specific track will be silenced during playback. If you click solo, DaVinci Resolve will play only that track and mute the others, which is great when you want to focus on dialogue, music, or sound effects individually. For example, if you are checking background music levels, solo the music track. If you want to hear only dialogue to clean up audio issues, solo the dialogue track. If a track is distracting or not needed while you preview the timeline, just mute it. Now let's say your timeline needs another layer. You can right-click on a track header and choose Add Track to insert a new video or audio layer above or below your existing content. This is a fast way to expand your timeline structure without hunting through menus. If you need another video track for overlays, titles, or B-roll, add a video track. If you need a separate audio lane for music, voiceover, or effects, add an audio track. This keeps your project organized and gives you more flexibility as your edit grows. You can also right-click the track header and choose Change Track Color. This is a great organizational tool if you work with a lot of media.
For example, you can use one color for dialogue, another for music, and another for sound effects. Visual organization makes it much easier to scan the timeline and understand what each layer is doing at a glance. So, to quickly recap, the track headers let you control each timeline layer. Source patching decides where new media lands, track destination selection controls shortcut-based edits, the padlock protects tracks, auto-select controls ripple behavior, mute and solo help you manage audio playback, and right-click options let you add and color code tracks for better organization. Once you get comfortable with these controls, editing in DaVinci Resolve becomes much faster, cleaner, and more precise. You'll spend less time fixing mistakes and more time actually building your project the way you want it. If this tutorial helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more DaVinci Resolve tips and step-by-step editing guides. And if you want, I can also show you how to use the timeline view options and UI layout presets in DaVinci Resolve 20 next.